Okay, so what you see here is a SOLN1. I'm really excited about this this project. This is something I've come up with to try to make alternative energy easy. In fact, idiot-proof easy. And it works great. I've been testing this for a long time. Before I posted any videos on this, I wanted to do a lot of testing. I was actually trying to figure out what I should do with this. I was very tempted to market this and different things, and while that was always an idea in my head, I finally decided to just share this freely. This and the links to all the parts I used to build this will be on laserhacker.com. I'll be discussing this on laserhackerforum.com. I put up a forum there. The SOLN1 project is something that I think we could get a lot of energy behind and build up a lot of these units, source the parts, bring the price down. Let me just turn this radio down here a little bit. Bring the cost of these down, although even now they're quite attractive in price, and you'll see that when I get the price list up on my website. But you can see I've got an AC fan here running, all these AC lights, charging my iPad. I got a 2 amp USB, and all coming off this one little solar panel here. So that's a quick overview of the SOLN1. One of the main features that makes the SOLN1 unique is everything that you need all in one, and then a single on and off switch. And this particular unit, I have 2 on and off switches. I have a joule ringer here, as well as an AC inverter, as well as a 2 amp USB. And I'll show you a little overview here. So here's the panel itself, and you can see that everything needed for this is actually slimmed down and put into the panel itself. I got the AC plug right here on the side. I've got the slimline inverter and the plug for the joule ringer right there. You can see I got the transistor for the joule ringer on the aluminum frame of the panel. That makes a great heatsink. So what I've got here is I've got 20 amp hours of battery right here. These are lithium iron phosphate batteries. They're again 20 amp hours right here at about 14 volts. So just a tremendous amount of watt hours that this thing can deliver. And then what I've got here is I've got a battery balancer circuit. This circuit keeps each cell balanced so that one cell doesn't come up on over voltage or one discharge too far. Coming off from that, I've got a solar charger unit that takes the energy from the sun, charges all of this. It also controls the power coming to the inverter. So this allows me to have a single on and off switch for the whole device, and that's the idea here. We want to make alternative energy easy. For too long, alternative energy has been a very mysterious thing. People have a hard time matching the batteries to the inverter, to the solar panel, to all these different systems. So with a system like this, we can actually make it very easy for the end user. So you basically have a single on and off switch that activates the whole thing. If you leave this on too long, low voltage detection shuts down the load. The breeze from the fan's kind of cool. So yeah, if you leave this on too long, a low voltage protection shuts down all this load. If you leave this in the sun too long, the overvoltage protection kicks in and keeps these batteries from overcharging. So I've got my 2 amp USB here for charging devices. You can see I've got more room here. I could put more battery capacity. That's what really amazes me. When I first decided to build one of these, the challenge in my mind was, can we actually get everything we need for an all-in-one system into the profile of a regular solar panel? This is a 20 watt solar panel. Can I get a 20 amp hour battery, an inverter, a joule ringer, a solar charge controller, all of that stuff fit down in a slim solar panel like this? And you can see that yes, it is possible. We can do that, and when you do that, you create something that to the alternative energy world is kind of like the iPad is to computers. I think this right here could change alternative energy. Just as the iPad experience has changed computers for many people. It's made computers simple and easy to use. That's the same concept we have going on here. I think this particular project is what could really get alternative energy and solar recognized. So we named this SOLN1. Obviously I'm giving this away freely for anybody to build and to use, and I would hope that these could be put into use all over the world. You could put something like this in a closet, and when you have an earthquake or a tsunami or a tornado come through, such as I have, you can just pull this out of the closet. These lithium iron phosphate batteries will hold a charge for a very long time, I mean years. They also have thousands of charge-discharge cycles, so this is great. You can set this in the sun, point it at a window. You can see here on the back there's these two lights. The light here on the left means the unit's charging. So that's what we got going on there. You can see that the blinking light means that it is actually charging. So right now we're actually charging from the lights right there. It's actually charging this unit. So let me just turn some of this off, and I'll show you guys the Joule ringer functionality of this device. So right now I have the Joule ringer circuit set up separately from the inverter. So I'm going to power down the inverter, and we're going to run the Joule ringer. You can see the Joule ringers in the device right here. So by separating these two, right now I have two switches. Again, I want this to be a super easy to use device. One of the things I think that should define a SOLN1 is a single switch. So this is a prototype. I do have a plan to make this whole device run on a single switch. I think we should have some target goals for something that we call a SOLN1. Easy to use would be one of the #1 goals, and everything should strive to make this as easy as possible to use. These need to be put into action anywhere in the world, and people don't need to be worried about all the complexities of solar and alternative energy that they've had to worry about in the past. You basically set this thing in the sun, it charges, you connect a load, you run the load, you run it too long with too much of a load, its safety shuts off, put it in the sun the next day, it charges. Just again, super simple and easy to use. But in this case I have the Joule ringer here coming directly off the battery load. The battery balancer here will shut down the Joule ringer if it gets low voltage on the batteries. But by having the Joule ringer set up like that, we can run a load off the Joule ringer at 200 to 300 milliamps, which again is the beauty of the Joule ringer, because this little inverter takes 200 to 300 milliamps just to run in idle mode. And that's the whole beauty of the Joule ringer circuit, as all of us who have been experimenting with those know. So here we've got a Joule ringer light. So we're running this light right here for the amount of energy it takes me just to run this inverter. And that's the beauty of putting a Joule ringer in a SOLN1 device like this. Now that we have the Joule ringer in there, you could have this in the house in just a single bedroom or something, and only be pulling 200 to 300 milliamps, and with a 20 amp hour battery supply at 13.7, 14 volts. That light there is going to run a very long time, folks, on this Joule ringer part of the circuit. And of course, as you know, with the Joule ringer, we can plug in other types of lights. You can plug in multiple LED bulbs like this. So, fully functional Joule ringer there, right on the device. Okay, just to show that the Joule ringer part of the circuit can put out a serious amount of light. Check this out. This is a really big LED light. Let me just see what the specs here on this thing real quick. This particular light here is 885 lumens, 18 watt LED light. Lowe's had this on sale the other day. But I'm going to plug this light into the Joule ringer portion of the circuit. And look at that, folks. Oh, that is blindingly bright light right there. And what a beautiful thing to see the thin profile of this solar panel. And you've seen the overview, so you know the capability that's in this little panel right here. Okay, what makes a SOLN1? My vision for the SOLN1 is that if we build these things, and again, I want to give this idea away freely at this point, and if we build these things and name this, if we make a thread on the internet somewhere, post a YouTube video, you don't have to do this, obviously. I'm giving this away freely, but my request to people in the alternative energy community would be to call a device like this a SOLN1. And I think we'll build momentum. I think this will start to avalanche. I put up a forum on laserhacker.com, I plan on making a thread there. I can't keep up with all the forums on the internet and all the information that's going on there, but I'm going to try to put more energy into answering people's questions and being active on the forum that I put up. And on that forum, we can build some momentum behind this. We can spec parts. We can find cheaper sources for these lithium iron phosphate batteries. You know, if we find an inverter that works better, whatever it is, we can keep the momentum going on this. We can build these. We can send these out to missions. We can give these to friends. I've got friends that live off the grid. You know, we can get energy and momentum building up behind this. And the reason this will take off when a lot of solar products haven't taken off in the past is the simplicity. People love easy, and solar up until this point, if you ask me, has been hard. I've seen other products on the market, and they always have a panel, an external inverter, an external battery pack, or just all types of complexity. You can throw this in the back of a backpack frame on a hiking trip, and it will charge as you're hiking, and you'll have power in the evening at your tent. I've taken this on camping trips. You know, I've treated this thing pretty harsh. I'll leave this thing out in my metal rooftop for weeks on end, through rain, through everything else. And I haven't tried to waterproof this or anything, but I'm just doing hard testing on this device because I want to see how this thing's going to hold up. And you know, maybe the heat from the sun will keep our charge-discharge cycles down a little bit on these lithium iron phosphate batteries. Time will tell. But let's get some momentum behind this. I really think if we bring this type of a concept to the world, I think alternative energy will just take off. So join me on Laser Hacker forum. I will post updates and links. This is a rather crude first prototype, so expect version 2 of this to look a whole lot nicer in the looks of the device itself. But anyway, that's it. Let's all keep experimenting. So I thought I should just give a quick overview of the specs that are inside this device. I've got 20 amp hours of a battery pack. I've got a 200 watt AC inverter. I've got a 2 amp USB, and I've got a jewel ringer. And it's all built into this SOLN1 device.